Shall we? Good morning, students. Good morning, teachers who all are watching it live or with us on our Zoom room. A very happy Vishu to everyone, belated Cheti Chand and Gudi Padwa to everyone. And tomorrow, as we all know, is World Art Day. And the world celebrates this World Art Day as it is the birthday of Leonardo da Vinci, one of the greatest brains ever, what you call, born on Earth, a scientist, an artist, a philosopher, thinker. And so tomorrow actually is his birthday and celebrated worldwide as World Art Day. Today is the birth anniversary of Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, the pioneer of Indian Republic, you can say, the one who has formulated our constitution um, almost single-handedly. If we study the process of making constitution, we will come to know that how large the contribution of Dr. Ambedkar was there in writing that constitution, writing that most precious book of our republic. And commemorating his birthday as well, because he was a Buddhist. So, what a fine opportunity we have that we have Mr. Sandeep Joshi with us, a very dear friend of ours, and an expert in the field of what you call the cave arts of our country, Ajanta Ellora. He has a vast research work on it, and he is associated with MS University. Uh, uh, there is a long introduction, and gradually we all will come to know about him, his expertise, when he will take you to our virtual tour. I will not take much of your time, but celebrating World Art Day and celebrating the birth anniversary of Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, let us start our journey on this virtual tour of Ajanta Cave, felicitated by facilitated by Mr. Sandeep Joshi. So a very warm welcome to Sandeep sir, and over to you now.
Thank you, Sharad sir. Today Ambedkar Jayanti and yes. So today is Ambedkar Jayanti, and he actually revived the entire Buddhism in Indian subcontinent in 19th century. So while talking about Buddhist monastery, it is worth to mention him also here. And on 18th, we have World Heritage Day. So all three different events are together here in Ajanta because of Buddhism, art and architecture and heritage. So art, heritage and the revival of Buddhism um, thanks to Dr. Ambedkar. So all three events together we are putting here in Ajanta, and I am very happy and I am thankful to Sharad sir for giving such a nice introduction. So now I am going to start talking about Ajanta. As on my screen, you can see Ajanta caves and a river, this Wagora river. So basically, it is a Deccan plateau. Okay, and it is also called as the Western Ghats. So Deccan Plateau and Western Ghats, as you know, it is um, it is a solid rock and which is volcanic rock. Okay, so this due to volcanic eruption, this rock layers have formed on particularly this part in Maharashtra, that is Western Maharashtra. So you have Western Ghats. Now, why all these caves of Ajanta were made on this particular part of the Western Ghats? Because this particular part of the Western Ghat was a part of Indo-Arab trade route. So this was a part of Indo-Arab trade route. So due to this trade route, all these caves were excavated and this monastery was established on this particular uh, hill. Okay. Now you have Bagora River here because water is a very necessity. It is a necessity for any establishment. Okay, so here you have Bagora River, and on the banks of Bagora you have Ajanta caves. So now, just a minute. Um, my screen is visible. See, this is Bagora River, and here you have Ajanta caves in this semicircular formation. So all these caves are excavated, not constructed, but excavated in these hills. Okay, so here in 19th century, means, see, can you see this viewpoint?
Yes, sir. Yes.
So this British army officer called John Smith, he was here on 28th of April 1819, and he was here and he was looking for tiger hunting, and some local person guided him towards these caves to find tiger. Now this is cave number 10. So he went there in cave number 10 and he found this beautiful rock cut monastery full of debris and all. Okay. So this is cave number 10. Now this particular cave was uh, excavated in first century AD. So, um, so Ajanta can be divided into two phases. The first phase is from first century AD and second century AD, and the second phase is fifth century AD or CE, you may call it. So here he reached John Smith and he signed here and inscribed his name with date 1819. So this is first century AD cave, and this particular structure is called as stupa. Okay, so this stupa, so everything is a single rock. Now this particular part is called as drum or the base of the stupa, and on that base, this is called as under. This egg-like form is called as under and hermica. Now on this hermica, you have chhatra. Can you see this socket? This is for chhatra, but now chhatra is not there. But this particular provision was made to hang chhatra here. Now this is a vaulted roof of this particular cave, and this cave is also called as Chaitya means a place to worship. So this particular cave was made for worship. Okay, so this uh, so stupa worship was there, and in early Buddhism, or you may call it in Hinayan Buddhism, this is prevailing term used for early Buddhism. So in early Buddhism, image worship was not there. So people used to worship stupa. So this stupa worship was there, and due to this stupa worship, this stupa was erected in this cave, and you can see this vaulted roof and a grand opening of the cave here. So this is vaulted roof, and this particular cave was early phase cave. Now there is one. See, now we are outside the cave, and you can see the entire landscape of Deccan Plateau here, and all these caves you can see carved in, inside the volcanic rock. Now This is the grand opening of cave number 10. And so this is the why we have started with cave number 10, because this is one of the earliest caves excavated on this site. Okay, so now you can you see something is written here. Okay, so it is written Garamukha Danam. Garamukha uh, Garamukha Danam means this is a donatory inscription of Vasitiputra Shatkarni, the Satavahan ruler, who donated the wooden facade or the wooden fittings of this cave. This is a modern fitting by Archaeological Survey of India, but here you have this donatory inscription in Sanskrit. Okay, so therefore this cave is very important to know about the patronage of the cave, the first phase of Ajanta. So now, so in first phase of Ajanta, you have cave number 10, cave number 9, cave number 12, and cave number 13. All these caves, cave number 10, cave number 9, 12, and 13, all these caves were excavated during the first phase of Ajanta, that is first century and second century AD. Okay, so now I am going to show you cave number 9, which is very similar to cave number 10, but scale wise, it is much smaller than cave number 10. But you will have a clear idea when you see this vaulted roof or ceiling and beautiful paintings around. But these paintings are not clearly visible right now. But these paintings are also painted in two layers. The first layer of painting is of first century, and the second layer of painting is of fifth century. So many of these paintings right now we can see they are from fifth century paintings. So this cave, though this cave belongs to first century or second century AD, all these paintings we can see right now is of fifth century or the later part or the late fifth century AD. Now all these are places of worship. Okay, because you don't have any provision for monks to live inside the cave. Okay, so see the beautiful facade of cave number 9. See this beautiful facade of cave number 9, and all these windows you can see here. Okay, these are non-functional windows, only symbolic windows, but you can clearly identify them as wooden, means this inspiration derived from wooden architecture. See this wooden fittings you can see, but everything is um, excavated in rock, okay, single rock. So this kind of window is called as Chaitya window. So this is Chaitya window, and all and small Chaitya windows inspired with the wooden architecture. Now all you see cave number 10 and cave number 9, they were places for worship. Now we are going cave number 12. Cave number 12, see this is cave number 12. And cave number 12 is a simple dormitory for Buddhist monks to live. Now, all these small cells were excavated for the monks to live, and this hall is for congregation or just for meditation. So, this is a place for. So, in early Buddhism, in first phase of Ajanta, the places of worship and places of living both have both were separate. Okay, so this is cave number 12, and here you have donatory inscription also here somewhere. It is not visible right now, but here you have donatory inscription that a trader from Thane, he donated uh, funds to excavate this particular dormitory. Okay. Here you have inscription, but right now it is not visible. Now we are moving towards second century, fifth century cave excavated during the rule of Wakatak dynasty. So Wakatak dynasty also they ruled this part of the um, Deccan, and Maharaja Harisen was the king of this region. So this particular, just a minute. So right now we are going to see cave number 4. See, this is cave number 4, the outer facade, very simple. You want to go inside the cave. So, see, now this particular cave was sponsored or the made from the donation of Mathura Das, a trader. So this is Mathura Das cave, and this is the largest hall. This is the largest hall excavated on the site, and you can see this beautiful pillars also, and this musician called Kinnara. Here, now in 5th century, you have image worship also. Now here you have Buddha image in Dharma Chakra Pravartan Mudra. So this is Dharma Chakra Pravartana, so Buddha Chakra in the center, and these are the devotees of Buddha. Okay, so this is Dharma Chakra Pravartan Mudra, and his first sermon he delivered in the deer park of Sarnath. So this is deer park of Sarnath, and Buddha is delivering his first sermon. So this is the central shrine. Now in 5th century, you have a different scheme of the cave architecture. So you have Garbhagruha and hall. So shrine with now inside the hall you can see these small cells for monks to live or congregate. See, all these small cells were also provided for the monks to live here. So now there is no separation of the temple and places of living and places of worship. Now everything becomes one. So here you have shrine, Buddha shrine or Garbhagruha, as well as the small cells for monks to live. So this is cave number 4, sponsored or his patron was Mathura Das. So this is 5th century AD, and see this is the gateway of this cave. very elaborately decorated, but this decoration was added later. It was not a part of the original scheme of cave number 4. So it was not planned. So it was carved later. And here, the very important sculpture called Avalokiteshwar. And Avalokiteshwar Astabhaya Taran Avalokiteshwar. So there are 8 types of bhai or 8 types of dangers um, for traders. Okay, so because see there are various dangerous signs. So elephant. See, this is elephant. Then tiger, fire, thunderbolt, thief. So all these are dangerous signs for traders because they may damage their goods or their life. Okay, so this is Avalokiteshwar, and um, this was a very popular deity of traders. So traders used to worship Avalokiteshwar. Now we are going to see very important cave, that is cave number 16 of 5th century cave. Cave number 16 is a very important cave because this particular cave was donated by Varahadev. And Varahadev was a prime minister of Vakataka dynasty or the Vakataka ruler. So this is a prime minister's cave. Means he donated this cave, and this cave is fully painted. See, every pillar, every pillar was painted. You can see the floral patterns here on the pillar, and this is a carved design. But the entire cave was painted. You can see paintings here. So all these paintings were the depiction of Buddhist Jataka stories. So Buddha used to tell stories to their disciples because philosophy of Buddhism was very it was not it was very hard to understand. So to simplify the philosophy of Buddhism, he used to tell stories, and all these stories were called as Jataka stories, and these Jataka stories are painted here. So you can see every corner of this cave, every corner of this cave was painted. But now many paintings are damaged, but still you can see some traces of paintings here in cave number 6. Even ceiling was also painted. So this cave is very important because of Varahadev, the prime minister of Vakataka ruler, was involved in this cave. So you can see this the Garbhagriha, and again Buddha in Dharmachakra Pravartan Mudra. So he's teaching his doctrine of Buddhism. See this proportion, and this particular mudra is called as sorry, posture. This particular posture is called as Pralamba Padasana. So this is Pralamba Padasana posture, and this is mudra. This mudra is called as Dharma Chakra Pravartana. And he is seated on the lion's horn. You can see this lion here. So on the lion's horn, instead of deer park, you have another kind of depiction outside in cave number 16. Now the porch was also painted in cave number 16. You can see some traces of paintings here, and here you have a inscription, a very big. Means this inscription is very important because the Vakataka rulers and the Vanshavali of Vakataka dynasty is inscribed here. So Varahadev inscribed the Vanshavali of Vakatak dynasty here and also recorded his name as a donor. So we have this documentary evidence in form of inscriptions because history, um, because it is one of the important source of history. Inscriptions, coins, fossils, and manuscripts. All these are the documentary evidences to decipher historical facts. So this is one of the source to know about history of this particular region. So after cave number 16, cave number 17 is also important cave, and many Jataka stories were painted. So in entire Ajanta, you have total 84 stories, narrative and non-narrative Jataka stories were painted. So total number 84 number of stories were painted in on the side. Now cave number 19 is very important. So I am going to show you cave number 19 because it is a Chaitya hall. It is only made for worship. So cave number 19. Here you have cave number 19. So now in early Buddhism, you saw the stupa worship was there. Later on, in 5th century, you have image worship. So Buddha image was there inside the Garbhagriha. Okay. So now you have combination of stupa and image here in cave number 19. And so this is a this is very unique and very important feature which was introduced in Ajanta in this particular cave because you have stupa also and Buddha image also at the same time. So now you see the stupa is highly decorative in this particular cave, and the standing Buddha image with Varad Mudra, that is Ashirvad, and Abhay Mudra, decorative pillars. You can see this very intricately carved pillars in this cave, and also a vaulted roof or ceiling. Can you see this? And this is a replica of wooden structure carved in stone. All these ribs were also excavated in stone, and the entire cave was painted. You can see number of Buddha painted in this particular cave. So this concept of 1,000 Buddha is painted here. Therefore, this cave is very unique and important. Okay. So cave number 19 is a small cave, but very important because this important feature of stupa and image is combined here. So earlier you have only stupa, then only image in Garbhagriha. Now you have stupa and Buddha image together in cave number 9. Now cave number 26. I want to sorry, cave number 19 facade is also very interesting to see. So I would like to show you cave number 19 facade. 20. Right the cave right now. Yes, now we are outside of cave number 19. So it is called as cave number 19 complex because you have left wing as well as right wing here. in cave number. And see, this facade is also fully decorated. This is Chaitya arch with pillar porch, and number of Buddha images were carved with. Here you have Nagaraj image. Here you have the image of Naga as a guardian of this, the guardian of this cave. And here this Buddha is giving begging bowl to his son Rahul, and you can see Yashodhara is also standing here because Buddha had nothing to give his son, so uh, he gave away his Diksha Patra to his son. This event is depicted outside cave number 19. Now cave number 26 is very important, that we'll see later. First of all, cave number 1 I would like to show. Cave number 1. Beautiful landscape outside cave number, and the facade of cave number 1. See, this facade is broken. We want to enter inside. Yes, now we are inside the cave number 1. This particular cave is also fully painted, and you have this Buddha image in the Garbhagriha in Padmasana Mudra, in Padmasana posture, Mudra, and two deers you can see here. So it is the first sermon delivered at Sarnath, Deer Park Sarnath, and you can see Dharma Chakra also on the scene. So this is a very common Buddha image in Ajanta, and outside this shrine you have very famous Padma Pani image here. Can you see this painting of Padma Pani holding a lotus in his hand? So he is a Bodhisattva. So Bodhisattva means he is on the path of becoming Buddha. So he is not Buddha, but he is on the path of becoming Buddha. So this is Padma Pani, and on the other side you have Vajrapani with a decorative this crown and holding thunderbolt. So Padma Pani and Vajrapani, very famous paintings of Ajanta. As cave number 16, cave number 1 is also a large hall, and every corner of this cave was painted. Even the ceiling is also painted with flora and fauna. You can see this animal forms and geometric forms, floral patterns and motifs, everything. Flying Gandharvas, Yaksha and Yakshinis, Kinnaras. So everything is painted on the ceiling just to decorate the every corner of this cave because of the wish of the donor of this cave. It is also said that Harisena himself was the donor of this cave, but we don't have any evidence for that. The Vakata ruler Harisena was the donor of this cave. See, this Jataka story were painted. Now we are moving towards cave number 2 because cave number 2 is also very important cave, architecturally very important because see, this is cave number 2 and we are in the porch of cave number 2, and see the ceiling is fully painted with floral motifs, yaksha, yakshinis, gandharvas, kinnaras, and musicians, and this decorative doorway. Now we are entering inside the cave. See this. Can you see this? Uh, these paintings inside the hall and decorative pillars, everything. Now you can see this Buddha shrine as well as small cells here. These are small cells on the left and right side. But on the right side of this shrine, you have one more sub shrine. Now, this concept of sub shrine is introduced here. Earlier, you have only one shrine, one Buddha shrine, and cells around. But now you have two sub shrines on the on the either side of the shrine, the main shrine. Now, this right sub shrine, you have Hariti and Panchika. So this particular sub shrine is called as Hariti and Panchika sub shrine. This Hariti is worshipped in Buddhism for children. So she is the goddess of children. So earlier she was Rakshasi and she used to harm children, but later on she became um, the, the devotee of Buddha, and she was being worshipped as the protector of children. So the so this particular shrine is, see, you can see the Hariti, and on her lap a child is seated on her lap, and this is Panchika, Yaksha Panchika, Hariti's sponsor. And this sub shrine was also painted with beautiful paintings. You can see here the linear quality, facial expressions, ornaments, textile, uh, this leaves of plants, etc. So the painting tradition, the wall painting tradition was also very advanced in 5th century, particularly in Ajanta. So now the another shrine, but it is not visible, but that shrine is a Kuber shrine. So you have two Kuber images there. One is Kuber Purnabhadra, another is Manibhadra. So that shrine is called as Manibhadra and Purnabhadra shrine. So So what I mean to say is this particular scheme of the central shrine plus two additional shrines, sub shrines on the either side of the central shrine was, and then this particular concept was introduced here in this particular cave. Therefore, this cave is important. So you have decorative ceiling and pillars with carving and paintings. Okay. So now final cave that I wanted to show you was cave number 26. Now we are outside cave number 26 complex, very similar to cave number 9. Cave number 26 also is a grand facade with pillars. Now all these pillars are broken, but you can see the upper portion of this cave, very similar to cave number 19. Now, this particular cave is also spectacular or a place for worship. So, there is no cell, no shrine, no garbhagriha is there inside this cave, but you have a combination of stupa and Buddha image, slightly different from cave number 19. Okay, see, now here you have seated Buddha with a decorative stupa. So here in On the face of the stupa, you have a small shrine-like structure with two pillars. So this two-pillared mandapa, and inside that mandapa, you can see the image of Buddha. Also preaching in Dharma Chakra Pravartan Mudra, probably, and see this lotus, elephant, and devotees here. But now this sculpture is broken. But there were three devotees, the family of the donor of this particular cave. And the donor of this particular cave was Buddha Bhadra. And the inscription of Buddha Bhadra is, you can see outside of the cave number 26, you have a long donatory inscription of Buddha Bhadra. So Buddha Bhadra was a monk and he was very powerful because um, he had a friendly relationship with the feudal lords of this particular region. So Buddha Bhadra was the donor of this particular cave. Now there is a sculpture gallery you can see here. Instead of paintings, you have sculptures on every corner of this particular cave. Again, this vaulted ceiling, which reefs replicated in stone. These wooden reefs were replicated in stone, and you have sculptures all around this cave. A very important sculpture you can see here. Many people call it sleeping Buddha, but this is not sleeping Buddha. This is a Buddha in Mahaparinirvan. Mahaparinirvan means the death or samadhi of Buddha. So this is Mahaparinirvan, and see all his disciples are weeping here, disciples of Buddha, and one of his disciples is weeping here. He's probably his Ananda, one of his disciples. So this is Mahaparinirvan depiction. So this could be the first depiction of Mahaparinirvan in Western India or Western Indian cave, particularly in Ajanta. Now, very important structure which you can see here. So here you have Buddha seated in Bhumi Sparsh Mudra, and this is the army of Mara. So the Mara was the king of desire or the deity of desire or lust. So this Mara is trying to disturb Buddha, and it is see on this elephant. This Mara is seated on this elephant, and he is trying to attack on Buddha, and it is Mara's army. Can you see this army? Now, see, this is Mara's army, and he is attacking on Buddha. This is a symbolic attack, not the attack with weapons, but this is a symbolic attack to disturb Buddha's um, meditation. Now, after that, when he was unsuccessful, he called his daughter to disturb Buddha. So here you can see my daughter, and see they are dancing and they are trying to disturb Buddha's meditation. But they were also unsuccessful to disturb Buddha. So Mara is here. He is tired and he's seated. Now finally he left the scene because of his unsuccessful um, uh, unsuccessful attempts to disturb Buddha. and this is Aho Mudra. So he's so he's so it is his salutation to Buddha finally. So this is a sculpture gallery, and these two sculptures were very important in this particular cave. And this cave is also important for its sculptural depiction or the sculpture gallery, and also this combination of stupa and image in the center. Now, outside cave number 26, you have this donatory inscription that I want to show you before we stop. So this is the facade of cave number 26, and here you have this donatory inscription of Buddha Bhadra. In this inscription, you have Buddha Bhadra's name as well as two names of the engineers of this particular cave, that is Dharmadatta and Bhadrabandhu. So Buddha Bhadra entrusted Dharmadatta and Bhadrabandhu to excavate this cave. So this responsibility of excavating this particular cave was given to these two people. So you have name of the artist or architect here outside this cave. With this beautiful facade. So this is how you can see the transition of Buddhism as well as cave architecture, because religion is also influenced the architecture. So earlier you have only stupa worship, then you have combination of stupa, then you have only image worship with the cells all around the cave, the hall, and later in the later phase you have stupa as well as image worship together, without cells and with cells. So here we stop this presentation, and now you can ask questions if you have any. Hello.
Students, you can ask questions now. Hello.
See, this trade route was up to this on this trade route. You have Bagh caves in Madhya Pradesh. Then you have other caves in near Orissa. You have Udaygiri and Khandagiri caves, and so this trade route was continued from this Indo-Arab trade route was still the east of Indian subcontinent.
I don't think the students have any question. Those students who are there with us in the Zoom, if you have any question, you may please ask. I would be very happy if you ask one or two questions. Particularly students of 11th arts who have opted history as their subject. Ajanta is very much in their course. And those who are viewing it on YouTube, they can write a question or they can comment. We would be getting that question and we will forward that question to Sandeep. Is it possible, Mukesh sir?
Yeah, I have enabled now.
Yeah. So those who are viewing this through YouTube, you can ask your question, sending us a comment.
I presume students think that things were very clear by sir. It is good. It is good.
Exactly.
Yeah. There are no questions there as well for now. Sharat
Okay,
sir, yeah,
fine enough. So that was a very lucid tour, exactly. A wonderful tour with no expense at all. So thank you, Sandeep sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you,
And,
sir.
for with on a very short notice, you prepared this tour for us, and I hope that with many more tours with you, we would be having our students taking the advantage of your vast experience, and we would be happy if we would be having some tours of the monuments within our city, uh,
Yes,
because our city is full of those beautiful art pieces, and you have worked on that also. So looking forward for many more opportunities. Thank you so much to Sandeep sir, and I am looking forward to see you personally, physically, face to face as well, because we haven't met since so many years. And thank you,
since
Mukesh
years.
sir.
Yeah,
Since years, yes. And thank you, Mukesh sir, for enabling us, what you call, witnessing this excellent tour
yeah.
with your technical expertise. And thank you, all the teachers and students who have participated in this live session or viewed this session through YouTube. Uh, Thank you very
Uh,
much, Mukesh sir.
just
Yes.
as a just as a footnote, the session would be available on YouTube, the on the same link. Okay. Okay. Thank you, everyone. I'll just end the meeting. Thank you, Sandeep sir.
thank you. Thank you,
Uh,
Sharat sir and
okay.
Mukesh
Thank
sir.
you, sir. Thank you.